Summary: Make Your Bed, William H. Mcraven. Book link. Click here. The author and other SEAL students were preparing for a challenging 2-mile swim in rough, 8-foot surf. Before the swim, an instructor was inspecting each student's safety equipment. When he came to a minor student, about 5 feet 4 inches, he taunted him by asking if he wanted to be a SEAL, saying the big waves could break him in half. The student defiantly replied that he would not quit. The instructor then whispered something to him that the author could not hear. After the problematic swim, the author saw that the small student had finished at the head of the group. The key message is that heart and determination matter more than physical size or attributes. The small student showed he had the heart of a SEAL. The story's key message is summarized in the first line: if you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart. The author illustrates this message through the story of the small but determined student who finished the challenging swim at the head of the group, demonstrating he had the heart and spirit of a SEAL despite his small stature. The story shows that determination, perseverance, and heart are more important than physical attributes. The author was undergoing SEAL training in Coronado, California. During a morning physical training session, he committed some minor violation of the rules and was punished by being made into a sugar cookie. This meant he had to jump into the ocean, roll in the sand, and get himself completely covered in sand and soaked. This was an uncomfortable experience and seemed to happen randomly at the whim of the instructors. The instructor who had ordered the author to become a sugar cookie that morning was Lieutenant Philip Moki Martin. Martin was a quintessential SEAL, experienced, highly skilled, and a veteran of Vietnam. When the author reported back to Martin covered in sand, Martin told him that the reason for the punishment was because life is not fair. The lesson was that the author must learn to accept arbitrary hardship and punishment without complaint. The critical point is that SEAL training was designed to teach trainees to endure brutal conditions without questioning reason or fairness. The ability to drive on in the face of arbitrary hardship was essential for SEALs to develop. The author and his swim buddy, Ensign Mark Thomas, struggled in SEAL training and often came in last during events. Because of this, they were frequently punished with additional calisthenics called the circus. The circus involved exhausting exercises like hundreds of flutter kicks, push-ups, sit-ups, etc. It was meant to break students down and cause them to quit. However, the author and Mark persevered and the circus strengthened them. They improved in the swims and obstacle courses. On the final 5-mile open ocean swim, the author and Mark were the first to finish, surprising the instructors. They had overcome their failures and persevered. The instructor told them their hard work and extra pain and suffering had paid off. He said he would be honored to serve with them in the SEAL teams. The author relates this to facing difficulties and failures in life. Those failures can make you stronger and better prepare you for tough times if you persevere. In July 1983, the author was fired from his SEAL squadron for trying to change how it operated. He thought his career as a SEAL was over. The key message is that failure and setbacks, while painful, can make you stronger if you persevere. You can learn from failure instead of being broken by it. The author was an officer in the U.S. Navy SEALs. Early in his career, he was fired from leading a SEAL unit but was given another chance to prove himself by leading a SEAL platoon overseas. During this deployment, he worked hard to regain the respect of his men. He used his previous failure as motivation and eventually commanded all SEALs on the West Coast. As an admiral, the author had to oversee many dangerous operations. He learned that taking calculated risks is necessary to success. He cites the example of approving a risky daylight hostage rescue mission in Iraq. The mission was successful but required landing 3 helicopters in a small space. The author admires the motto of the British Special Air Service, "Who dares wins." He believes you must push your limits and take risks to achieve your full potential. You cannot let fear of failure, hardship or embarrassment hold you back. Occasionally, you have to slide down the rope headfirst. The summary outlines the key events and lessons in the author's career progression. The anecdotes about the hostage rescue and nighttime swim help illustrate the importance of calculated risk-taking and facing challenges boldly. The author's key takeaway is that playing it safe will prevent you from realizing your potential. You have to be willing to take a chance. The author and his partner had to swim 2,000 meters in San Diego Bay's dark, foggy waters to reach a target ship, place a limpet mine on its keel, and return without being detected. This death-rig training culminated the SEAL's dive phase and was considered the most dangerous part. Before the swim, the chief petty officer told the divers to be at their best to overcome their fears and complete the mission. The author remembered those words for 30 years. Years later, the author witnessed ramp ceremonies in Afghanistan to honor fallen soldiers. A C-17 would transport the remains, with an honor guard lining the path into the plane. A band played Amazing Grace and taps. Soldiers, sailors, airmen, and allies came to pay respects. Pallbearers would carry the flag-draped casket onto the plane, salute it, and leave. A pastor would read Isaiah 6:8, about God asking who will serve, and the response, "Here I am. Send me." People would file by, saluting and kneeling by the casket. The plane would then take the remains to Dover Air Force Base, where another honor guard and family would receive them. The author noted that in dark moments like losing a loved one, people come together to be their best, just as the chief petty officer had said years before about overcoming fear and completing the mission. In summary, the key points are: SEAL training culminated in a dangerous 2,000-meter night swim in foggy, low-visibility water. Before the swim, the chief petty officer told them to be their best to overcome fear and finish the mission. The author always remembered that message. Years later, the author saw AMP ceremonies honoring fallen troops in Afghanistan, where people came together in a dark moment to salute the sacrifices. This demonstration of courage and community reminded the author of the chief's message to be your best in difficult times. Best during those tragic times. When tragedy strikes, there are those who rise up through perseverance, strength, and compassion to give others hope, comfort, and the will to endure. The ability to persevere in adversity and inspire others is a powerful force. With determination and hope, one can overcome immense challenges and hardships. Even when things seem darkest, maintaining an optimistic and courageous spirit can make a difference in your own life and the lives of others. By refusing to quit under challenging times, facing hardships with resolve and grace, and lifting those around you, each person has the power to change lives for the better. Though life is unfair and painful, staying focused on your hopes and dreams, and helping others along the way can lead to a life of meaning and purpose. Each person can make a positive difference in the world with courage and compassion. Make your bed. Little things matter, and completing small tasks builds momentum. Find good teammates. You need help to accomplish difficult things. Work together and support each other. Don't judge people based on appearances. Measure them based on their heart and determination. Don't get discouraged by failures or criticism. Keep trying and moving forward. Face difficulties and failures head on. Do not avoid challenges just because they are hard. Sometimes, you need to take risks to achieve things. Don't be afraid to lean into challenges. Stand up to adversity and challenges. Don't back down in the face of difficulties or hardships. Pay attention to details. Little things matter and make a difference in outcomes. Double-check everything. Be willing to change tactics and try new approaches. Do not get stuck doing things the same way. Adapt. Prepare and train extensively. Put in the necessary work to achieve challenging objectives. The lessons are that changing yourself and the world is hard work. It requires facing difficulties head-on, not getting discouraged by setbacks, adapting to challenges, thoroughly preparing, checking details, and teaming up with suitable partners. However, if you follow these principles, you can achieve great things. The narrator has to swim under a ship to complete his mission. The deepest, darkest part under the ship is the keel, the center line. This is the most challenging and disorienting part of the mission, requiring mental toughness and composure. Hell Week is a grueling week of SEAL training with no sleep and constant hardship. One night, the narrator's group was punished by being sent into frigid, engulfing mud. Some were about to give up when one man started singing, giving the others hope and strength. The singing spread, helping the group endure until dawn. The narrator emphasizes that one person giving hope can change the world, like leaders such as Washington, Lincoln, King, Mandela, and Malala. Trainees can ring a brass bell to quit the problematic SEAL training anytime. However, to change the world, the narrator says you should never, ever ring the bell. In his speech to graduates, the narrator says that to change the world for the better, they should start each day completing a task, find help from others, respect everyone, accept that life is unfair, take risks, stand up to bullies, lift the downtrodden, and never give up. If they do so, the world will be better for future generations. The key themes are mental toughness, determination, and perseverance in extreme hardship and adversity. The power of hope and inspiring others. One person can change the world by giving hope, never giving up in pursuit of a goal or mission. Having the strength and grit to see it through to the end. Facing challenges with courage, composure, and inner resolve. The summary highlights stories and examples that illustrate these themes, such as surviving Hell Week, singing in the mud, and never ringing the bell. The speech at the end ties it all together and issues a call to action to the graduates. Book link, click here.